Warning, the following show will spoil the hell out of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire books and the TV show A Game of Thrones. Also, you're probably going to find a fuck ton of bad language. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Death and boobies, 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 death and boobies. Hello and welcome back to the Ironwood Network Book Club. I am your host, Septa Ironwood, and with me, as always, is Maester Ironwood. How are you doing today?
Great.
Yeah.
We're in Dorne.
We are in Dorne.
We're finally back to Dorne.
Yeah. Warmer weather.
Yeah, warmer weather. Very warmer weather.
Yes.
And warmer weather here. No snow on the ground.
No, it's a little chilly with the wind, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it still feels good. It feels like spring, finally. And Septa just saw a squirrel out the window, and she smiled at it.
He's just sitting there.
Is it your buddy Mo?
It's not Mo.
That's too bad. We have a short-tailed squirrel who lives near our house for the last couple years that Septa calls Mo, and she loves seeing Mo.
I do. Well, the first three we saw, we named them Larry, Mo, and Curly, because there was one with an exceptionally long tail.
Yep.
And then there was one with a really short tail. So
and
it
then
was
one normal.
Yeah, so it was Larry, Mo, and Curly.
Yeah.
And Mo is my favorite.
Yeah. Yep.
Short-tailed squirrels don't normally live long, though, because...
Right, they're short-tailed.
Yeah. But he's been here at least 2 years, if not longer. So.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. All right, Septa.
Yes.
We're in Dorne. What are we talking about today?
The Soiled Knight.
The Soiled Knight.
Yeah.
Ser Arys Oakheart.
Yes, and why is he soiled?
Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking somebody he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Which, when you're a member of the Kingsguard, is everybody.
Yes. However...
They all do it.
They all do... Well, most of them do it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it is with the Night's Watch. No marriages, no children.
No lands, no titles.
Yeah,
yep.
But most of them do it anyways. They just can't get caught.
Right. Well,
unless you're Sir Boris Blunt, who has...
Unless you're Sir Boris Blunt, go ahead.
Who just goes to the whorehouses. And everyone knows and nobody cares.
Which is the smart way to do it, right? I mean, because there's no chance of you, like, getting married to a whore, essentially.
Right.
For the most part.
Yes.
Or if they have a child, dude, like, you could very easily say it's not mine.
Well, whores have people's children all the time.
Right. Especially in this world. So.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant in Westeros.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I mean...
But the lady that Ser Arys Oakheart is sleeping with is...
Well, we'll get to it.
Not a whore.
I gotta do a... I mean, she might be. Well, she's a slut.
Yes, but not a whore.
But not a whore.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
In my
and if anyone doesn't understand the difference, we'll tell you.
Whores get paid.
Yes.
Sluts just get paid in, like, drinks and dinners.
Yes.
There's a difference between cash and goods. Mm-hmm. I guess. But anyway, okay, so my synopsis, real short, real simple, because really only one thing happens in this chapter. We talk about a lot of things, but only one thing actually happens. So Ser Arys Oakheart, who is the Kingsguard who was sent with Myrcella to Dorne, sneaks out of Sunspear, the castle, to go and have a rendezvous in the city with a lady that he's been fucking. Mm-hmm. So he goes and fucks her again. Turns out that lady is Princess Arianne, the oldest child of Prince Dorne. And she, with her feminine wiles, convinces him to help her crown Myrcella queen of the Seven Kingdoms to rival Tommen in an attempt to get retribution for her uncle's death. And that's it.
Yeah.
That is...
Now, the first time I read this chapter, I didn't understand what the hell was going on.
Really?
Yeah, I was so confused.
Until you got to when they tell you who she is?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the idea.
Well, the first time I read it, I had read it, but I didn't understand who she really was. But reading it this time around, I was like, oh, that's that, okay.
Yep.
And I didn't really understand what she was asking for, or what she was convincing him to help her get.
Yeah.
She's more a sand snake than she likes to admit.
Oh, yeah. Well, she says she's very good friends with them.
Yeah, they're like sisters.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
Her cousins are like sisters to her, so... Yeah, she's very... She has reasons for being more of a fan of her uncle than of her father.
Yes.
Which we'll also get to.
Yes.
In this chapter. So, all right. So, so that's the synopsis. That's the brief overview
you
of what
have a
happens.
haiku, though.
I do have a haiku.
You didn't do that before the synopsis.
No, I'll have to do it after. Oopsies. All right. Haiku for the Soiled Knight. The slutty princess manipulating her knight with that sweet, sweet kiss.
I'd be lying if I said that I've never done that. But that just makes me a horrible person. So whatever. Money wasn't involved, so, you know.
Hey, I'm not against sex work personally.
Right.
Like if somebody wants that to be their job, I really don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
As long as everybody involved is consenting, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
In reality. As long as they're of age and consenting, no problems.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Ser Arys Oakheart.
Yes. And his family line.
Yes. So he is recognizably not Dornish, and therefore in danger in the city these days because of the death of Prince Oberyn.
Yes. They've already killed one guy who came from King's Landing, and all he was looking for was fruit.
Yes. He says that, obviously, I'll put up a better fight if they come after me, which is true. He's a great fighter, so... But, yeah, so... He comes from a family that borders Dorne.
And the family is not friends with Dorne.
Yeah, no, they are ancient enemies, as he says. And the story of their admonition for each other is told out in a series of tapestries that hang in his family's halls.
Yes.
So, yeah, so there's no love lost between the Oakharts and the Dornish.
Right.
And vice versa.
Yes.
So
why was Ares the one who was sent down with Myrcella?
I would almost certainly say because Cersei didn't fucking know.
I think it was Tyrion.
Well, either way, like...
Right.
You know, I think that Tyrion... I think we know why Tyrion sent her. Or sent him. And we get that information from... Because you remember of Joffrey's Kingsguard, who was the one who was always used to punish Sansa?
Arys Oakheart.
Arys Oakheart.
He was
almost certainly the reason that Tyrion chose him.
Yeah, that would make a very good point.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with...
Because that is mentioned in this chapter.
Right.
How he hated beating Sansa, but he did it because the king told him to.
Yeah, so in other words, he's a fucking real piece of shit. Like, it's almost forgivable if you don't understand that what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
But admitting that you know it's wrong, that it makes you feel bad, and yet you still do it anyway, I think in my mind that's almost worse.
Well, you can't refuse to do something the king wants you to do.
Tell that to the Hound.
He's the Hound. He was never officially a knight.
No.
Is never officially
he was Joffrey's sworn sword.
Not a knight, though.
Still his sworn sword. He took vows. He was his sworn sword. He took different vows than the Kingsguard.
Right.
But he took vows to Joffrey because he was his sworn sword. His shield.
Right.
So... And he told the king to go fuck himself. Mm-hmm. And
he was the only one who could get away with it.
And might maybe still possibly be alive. We don't know. Last we saw him, he was dying.
Right, but there were rumors.
Well, not anymore.
No, in the last Cersei chapter, there were rumors of him.
Well, yeah, but old rumors, right? Remember how long rumors
Yeah.
take to travel in a world like this?
Yeah.
So those are probably from... Because remember, it was when he was traveling with a young boy.
Right.
Which was his time with Arya.
In the last Cersei chapter, the rumor was that Sandor Clegane was wandering around with Beric Dondarrion's men.
Right.
Because we never mentioned it in the last chapter.
Right. And which, remember, for that, there was that time where he was chasing around with them. So, yeah.
So who knows the accuracy?
I think they were older rumors.
Right.
But, because the last we saw the Hound, he was pretty much dead.
Right.
So, we'll have to see. Some people out there know what I'm hinting at with we might see him again. I
don't think he actually died.
As a certain grave digger at a certain community in Westeros.
I guess we'll see.
Which is why they had that scene in the season 7 of the TV show where he dug the grave for that family.
Yeah.
Because in the books, there's a theory. Brienne will go to an island and there'll be a grave digger there, which kind of meets Sandor Clegane's specifications.
Gotcha.
And the big theory is that Sandor Clegane is the grave digger.
Okay.
Which is why they had that scene with him digging the grave.
Yeah.
Straight out of the theory of him being the grave digger at this island. Paying a little homage to that theory from the books.
All right.
But yeah, so he could very easily... Let me ask you this. Okay, you say he couldn't have refused Arys Oakheart.
Right.
If Jaime had been there instead of out fighting a war and been ordered to hit Sansa, do you think Jaime would have done it?
No. I don't. But I think Jaime and Joffrey had a more difficult relationship.
Oh, I understand that.
So I think he would have refused, and I think he would have treated Joffrey more like Tyrion did. When Tyrion found out that he was having Sansa beat.
Okay, but do you think he would have refused? Mm-hmm. If you say only the Hound could refuse to do what the king says.
Yes, I know what you're getting at.
And yet, Jaime, you agree, would have refused.
I agree. Okay, point made.
So, I think that even if Jaime were there, for instance, if Jaime were there, do you think that Arys Oakheart would have then felt okay to refuse?
If Jaime had said that they're not going to beat her, then Arys would have refused.
Okay. You don't think he enjoyed it a little bit?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, that's good.
I think Arys is a bit softer than he lets on to be.
He's definitely a better person than events would indicate that he is.
Yes.
It's funny how you can say that about him and not about Jaime. Because Arys Oakheart's done some pretty despicable things.
Yes. What's your point?
You seem to be able to overlook those for him. He seems like a better guy than we think.
Jaime started off bad in my mind, so I'm having difficulty bringing him around to the good guy.
Jaime's bad in your mind because he's a Lannister, and you tie him in
because he threw Bran out a window.
He tried to prevent a war. He tried to prevent a family.
I understand that's why you're saying that. I understand you saying that, and I get it. But
you like Bran.
When I started reading the books, I didn't. I'm one of those people that tends to hold grudges.
Really?
Oh, really?
Really?
And I will even do it to characters in the book.
Okay.
And because even before I knew the whole, Jaime's arc that you told me about later, I read the book. I read Jaime push Bran out the window. Instant bad guy. It's going to be hard. Even though I understand why he did it now, the fury I felt at the time just hasn't dissipated. Okay. Even though I've read it multiple times and I've seen it multiple times.
You still have fury at Jaime?
Yeah.
Really?
It's It's a whole complicated thing. Because it's the whole doing the wrong thing for the right reason, and it's very complicated to me.
But is it the wrong thing?
The wrong thing for the right reason?
Yeah, is it the wrong thing? Like, you say it's the wrong thing, but, I mean, wouldn't maybe the wrong thing have been to let Bran go and have multiple people executed for what Bran saw and told? Couldn't you say that that's actually more wrong than trying to kill just one kid? Because you would talk about 3 children would be executed. Cersei, Jaime, Tyrion, Tywin, probably Kevin, his children, to wipe the Lannisters out by Robert. Which of those is more wrong?
Less people would die killing off the Lannister line than would going to war.
No, because remember, Tywin was not at King's Landing. So they would try to execute Tywin.
And it'd be a war.
And it'd be a war still. Probably a bloodier one, to be honest.
Let's get back to Arys.
So you're sure that Jaime's action was the wrong thing for the right reason? Or was it the best possible choice?
Regardless of why he did it, it was still not a good thing to do.
Okay. Maybe the lesser of two evils?
Yes, kind of thing.
Sometimes that's all you get is bad choices.
I know. You get a bad choice and a worse choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think going Bran was the bad choice versus the worst choice.
Right.
Just like killing the Mad King.
Right.
The bad choice versus the worst choice.
Right.
So Jaime seems to be... See, in my mind, Jaime's the person who's often put in these positions, or in the case of Bran, puts himself in the position.
Right.
Where all he has is bad choices.
Right.
Like with Aerys. All he has in that situation is bad choices. Kill Aerys or let Aerys kill everybody.
Jaime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the choice of Bran, kill Bran or let the information that Bran has kill everybody.
Right.
Like, both of those are choices where you don't have a good choice.
Right.
So, that's why I kind of sympathize with Jaime.
And for Oakheart at this point, it was slap Sansa or get punished for not.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I think that that Joffrey would have found another piece of shit to do it. Had Aerys said no.
Right. But we don't know what his consequences to Aerys, whatever his name is, would have been.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, in that case, wouldn't the better thing? I mean, he's a knight, right? Supposed to have valor and chivalry. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't the proper thing to do be to refuse and take your punishment as a grown man?
Right. Probably. Who knows?
So. But yeah. So anyway, that's why he was shipped off, is because Tyrion got rid of him because he was the one who was beating Sansa.
Yes.
So that's why he was chosen. I don't think it has anything to do with his family history or anything like that. I think it's just because Tyrion wanted him out of there.
Okay.
Which, again, also, if you think about it, like, you know that this guy beats children. So then you send him down there to take care of Myrcella.
Well, I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to beat Myrcella.
How could you be 100% certain, though?
He's a Kingsguard.
He was beating another teenage girl.
Sansa was not part of the royal family.
She was close enough. She was betrothed to Joffrey.
Right, but everyone knew it wasn't going to go through. Myrcella is Joffrey's sister.
Yeah, Joffrey would have just as soon had them beating Myrcella and Tommen.
No, Joffrey did that himself.
Exactly my point. So, I mean, I think, in a way, I think it's almost dangerous to send him down there. Turns out we're wrong. But with the information we had at that time, I think it's almost dangerous to put him in charge of Myrcella's defense, her safety. Because all you really know about him at the time is that he beats teenage girls.
At the command of the king.
We read the chapters.
Well, maybe that was one of those things where Tyrion had to choose between a bad choice and a worse choice.
So, we'll see. Don't get snippy with me.
I'll get snippy with you while
Just
I
asking questions. Just asking questions, that's all. But anyway, yeah, so he is down there as the protector of Myrcella.
Yes.
He has a few Lannister guards with him.
Yep.
Strangely enough, not Baratheon guards.
Yeah.
Weird. Anyway.
There are no more Baratheon guards.
Baratheon.
They're all Lannister guards now.
Well, I mean, there's still Baratheon. Family still has.
Yeah, but where are they? Because you don't hear about Baratheon guards at the castle anymore.
Well.
You hear Gold Cloaks and Lannister.
Right.
Men.
I mean, technically speaking, the Gold Cloaks are the Baratheon guards because the king is a Baratheon.
Quote unquote, yeah.
But, yeah, so we join up with Arys as he is headed out into the city at night.
Yes. He's not wearing his white cloak.
Yeah, he's dressed in regular clothes, a hood trying to cover up his face and the fact that he doesn't look Dornish.
Yes.
And we already talked about that part. So he's headed out. We don't know at the beginning what he's going out to do. So
right.
Use your own imagination. Is he going to buy food? Is he going to go to the bar?
Well, he's sneaking out at night, so the first time I read it, he's meeting someone.
Okay.
Because he was worried about leaving Myrcella, but said she had plenty of guards, and then he's thinking about the Prince of Dorne, and how when they first met, Doran's daughter was there, and he had tried not to blush, and I was like, oh, well, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
So either they had already been having sex, or he was interested.
Right.
At that point.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first thought of the first time I read it. Maybe that's where he's going.
Okay.
Because why else would he go out into a city he's never seen before?
Right. That's fair.
So.
Okay, that's fair.
Men, when they want sex, they'll do desperate things sometimes.
A lot of times, yeah. Especially with sex you're not supposed to have, right?
Yes, exactly.
Like
that
this.
just makes it more exciting, I guess.
Yeah. Most things are more exciting that they're things you're not supposed to do.
Right.
Really. So.
Right.
But
I haven't had that thrill in a long time. So.
But you speed all the time. What are you talking about?
I do. Right down the road.
Yep. But yeah, so he is out and about, and we get a lot of information from him.
Yes.
Big chunk of it was his discussion with
Dorne,
which boils down to basically a threat from Dorne against Myrcella that was veiled to be as nice and discreet as possible.
Which was, we're taking her to the Water Gardens?
Well, it's essentially, she's safe here. We don't mistreat children in Dorne.
Yeah.
And especially princesses.
Yeah.
To which Arys is like, I don't know about that. He's like, well, and Dorne's like, remember, my sister was a princess who was brutally murdered.
Her child.
Right. Her and her children were brutally murdered.
Yeah.
By the people that you serve.
Yes.
So just remember that.
Yeah.
When you think about Myrcella and where she is. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. So, yeah. A not so veiled threat.
Yeah. So Dorne hasn't even met Myrcella at this point, and it's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And
he's been away at the Water Gardens.
Yes.
And she is not.
Yep. But now they're going to go back to the Water Gardens, and Arys and Myrcella and the rest of her guards are going to go to the Water Gardens for safer keeping.
Right. And remember, because the cities are becoming less and less friendly to anybody who's not Dornish. Yes. Because the Sand Snakes had been whipping up contempt about the Lannisters and King's Landing and all that.
But it has gotten less, even though it's still like angry, because he has successfully arrested, for lack of a better term, all of the Sand Snakes except for 2.
Right, the 2 that aren't there.
Yep, and they're being kept in a tower.
Yes.
Even the 6 and 8-year-old.
Yes. Now, one is at the Citadel.
Yes.
Almost certainly.
Yes.
And the other one, who the hell knows?
Yep.
Just out there somewhere.
Yep.
So we'll see. Maybe she's dead Shay.
Maybe. I think the Sand Snakes can fight better than that.
Not if they don't realize what's going on.
Right, that's true. There was something I was going to mention, and I think it just kind of...
Not good, not too important then.
Well, it was... What was it?
I don't know.
I can't remember. It was something about Dorne. I'll think of it.
Okay, well... Yeah, this is the first time we really see the shrewd side of Dorne.
Yes.
We see it a little bit. And
Yep.
it's just that whole conversation with Oakheart about princesses being hurt. And it's just like this, like, you know, layers of threat and not threat and threat and not threat meant to convey a specific message while still sounding appropriate for the conversation between two gentlemen.
Yep.
So, and with Arianne right there...
Yes.
You know, attending the conversation and everything.
Yes.
And so here is my question to you. Okay, so the person who Arys is going out to fuck on a regular basis is Princess Arianne.
Yes.
The
Dorne's
eldest
daughter.
daughter of Dorne. Actually, his eldest child. So
Yes.
technically his heir.
Yes.
So
So
we
that's a
know
big no-no.
Right, now we know that she wants to crown Myrcella along with the Sand Snakes. They want that
Yes.
as well. Because in Dorne, the eldest child inherits regardless of whether they are male or female.
Yes.
So they want to use those rules to basically say that Myrcella is queen, and therefore, through her, Trystane, who she's betrothed to,
Yep. Who's 13.
is therefore the king,
Yes.
with Myrcella ruling.
Yes.
So
And she's 11.
right, and she's 11, and he's 13, and they play Cyvass all the time, and she beats it.
Which
because
is
she's
like
really smart.
Chess.
Kind of like a chess almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
It's 3D chess.
kind of almost, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not like set like a real chessboard.
Right.
It's almost like, from what I can gather from the little bit that we have from it, and maybe there's more, maybe there's actually like a Cyvass set that actually exists based on the books.
Right.
Which would be kind of cool. Maybe we should find that, and if there is, get it. But
Yeah.
from what it seems to me, it's almost like chess mixed with Risk.
Yes. Yeah, because there's 10 different kinds
10
of pieces.
Yeah, 10 pieces. And then you have like...
They each have their own
home
powers.
bases, and they
Yeah.
each have their own unique things that they can do.
Well, that's what made me think it was chess, because they can all move different ways, except for
Right.
the pawns, who
Right.
can only move one way.
No, pawns move two ways. They move either one up or two up, or if they're taking another piece,
They can go
move diagonal.
sideways, yes.
So...
Yeah. I do remember that.
But, so to me, it almost seems like chess mixed with Risk in a way.
Sounds cool.
It'd be kind of cool if it actually existed. Maybe we need to see if we can find ourselves a Cyvass game to play. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
But either way, that's how they spend their time. Myrcella and Trystane. Is they play Cyvass with each other. And she beats him now most of the time. Which he seems okay with.
Yeah.
Maybe he even lets her win?
Maybe.
I don't know. It's possible.
She learned how to play so she could play with him, yeah.
Yes. Which is nice. I mean, like, so she's making the effort. Mm-hmm. Which is cool. Mm-hmm. Trying to be interested in the same things that he's interested in. Which
She
is
also
nice.
loves the food.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
It's like Mexican food,
I've
kind
been,
of?
not even that. Like, it seems more Mediterranean to me.
Okay.
You got the spices and things like that, but because Dorne always reminds me of like Spanish Mediterranean coast.
Okay.
And I've been to Spain, and I must admit, the Mediterranean cuisine over there, to die for.
Is it?
Oh, it's so good. You get that really good olive oil, like
Yeah.
the fresh squeezed olive oil. Oh, it's so good over there. And I love the spices from over there.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of the spicy, but not too much. It's really just it's very flavorful. So. But according to Arys Oakheart, it makes your blood hot.
It makes the women's blood run hot, yeah.
And the men, too.
Yeah.
Which is why he tries not to eat the food as much.
Yeah, because it makes them
Hot-blooded.
horny.
Yeah. Well, not even just horny, but also, like, angry and ready to fight.
Yeah.
So it just kind of raises everybody's temperature.
I think that's just an old wives' tale.
Oh, most certainly, yeah. I've had plenty of Mexican food.
Yeah.
And spicy food, which never made me more angry than any other food. So.
Yeah. Unless it's really bad
Unless
Mexican
it's
food.
really shitty, exactly. This is really shitty.
Really, yeah. A horrible tasting food makes me really mad.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you pay money for it. Fuck that shit. But, yeah, so he has been fucking Arianne. Mm-hmm. On the regular, it appears.
Yes. Except this is a new location.
Yes. And he seems extremely mad at himself about it.
Yes.
I get a very Jon Snow vibe.
Yes.
From Arys Oakheart.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. With the way that Jon would talk to himself when he was banging, what's her name? Ygritte on the regular.
Yeah.
And having that internal conversation with himself.
He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing this.
And then telling her that too. The same way that Arys is telling himself and telling Arianne that throughout this chapter.
Yeah.
And...
So he knows he's not supposed to be doing this, but that just makes him want her more.
Right. You know, they say you always want what you can't have.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and
this is like the epitome of can't have, because he's a Kingsguard and she's a princess.
Right. Yeah, this is like as bad as it gets.
Yes.
Except for, say, the Lord Commander fucking the Queen.
Yeah.
Which has happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jaime and Cersei, and then the other guy.
And it wasn't the Queen, it was the King's mistress.
Right, yeah, the paramour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which she offers to be his paramour.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
No, I think she offers him to be the paramour.
Well, whatever.
Because she's princess.
Royal, right?
Yeah.
And she will have to take a husband.
Yes.
And get married.
Yep.
Her father tried to fix her up 3 times with 3 very old men.
And he's like,
right.
Yeah.
So let's get into her. Let's get into Arianne. Now we're talking about her.
So they meet up, they have sex, and now all of a sudden, the sex wasn't supposed to happen. He went there to break up with her and leave.
And that always happens, doesn't it?
Yes.
Always.
Yep. But he says this every time he sees her.
Mm-hmm.
But this time he really, really means it?
Really, really meant it.
Yeah. And then he got a boner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that didn't happen.
Because he's like a 25-year-old guy, right?
Yeah. Well,
I remember being a 25-year-old guy.
He said it had been at least 10 years since the last time he had sex.
Right, so if he's knighted at 17...
Yeah, so he's in his late 20s, early 30s.
I would say, late 20s probably.
Yep.
I've been a guy in their late 20s.
And that's all you want.
Literally from the age of 16 to about 30, you basically can't breathe without getting a boner. It's just the way it works.
I'm glad I never had that problem.
Literally just the way it works. Right up through your late 20s, that's just how it goes.
That's fine.
But yeah, so he went there to break it off, and that never happens because they always just end up fucking. And of course, that's what happens.
Yep. But this time he's adamant because they're going to the Water Gardens and he's not going to see her again, so he has to break it off.
Except she's probably going to follow him to the Water Gardens because, like what? Like she's not allowed to go to the Water Gardens? Like they're her fucking family's Water Gardens. So. Yeah,
so let's talk about how she feels about her father.
Yes, that's what I wanted to get into.
Yes.
So she seems very rebellious, especially sexually.
She's very Asha-ish.
Yes.
Yara. Asha-ish.
Yes, in the book, Asha.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, right? So she lost her virginity at 14.
Yep, consensually.
Yep. And and her father knows.
Yep, and Sen did nothing because he calls nothing thinking. Mm-hmm. Is what she says, which I think is hilarious.
Yes.
Yep, nothing is thinking.
And she it seems almost like she throws it in his face.
Arys?
No,
her dad.
In her father's face. Like she doesn't say that, but I just imagine she like when that happened. Yeah. She probably did throw it in his face.
Yeah. Because it's not like she hid it from him.
Right. And so he's tried to marry her off 3 times.
To old men because he knew she was spoiled.
Right. And each time she said no. And to his credit, he didn't force her to marry any of them.
Right.
Which is, say what you want to about Dorne. I think that one thing at least is a good trait.
Yes.
That he was willing to do that.
Yes.
Who knows who she has been banging in the...
Right.
But,
and from this whole scene here, she is very good at using what she has to get what she wants.
She is a Cersei when Cersei is actually trying. So like the way Cersei used to be with Jaime in the first couple of books.
Yeah.
Not this one, but the first couple where she was easily manipulating him.
Yes.
That seems a lot like what Arianne is like.
Yes.
Which,
or she's what Cersei wishes she could be.
Right. And which does not bode well for Mr. Oakheart, I don't think.
No.
So, while he's telling her over and over again that he's done, that they're done, she just is ignoring him, essentially.
Yep, staying naked, being seductive, playing with her hair, playing with her...
Jerking him off while talking about, we need to make Myrcella the queen.
Yeah.
And so the whole conversation is him going from, we have to stop this, we can't do this, I'm leaving, Myrcella and me are going to the water gardens with your father.
And she's like, if he says you're leaving tomorrow, it could be a fortnight.
Yep.
It takes him 4 times as long to do anything.
Correct.
Which is not incorrect, because it did take him a whole extra day to get from the water gardens to where they are now.
Instead of leaving first in the morning,
it was about noon.
Left way late in the day.
Yep.
It was probably still days after they should have left.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. And so by the end of this conversation, she has him essentially saying, fine, I'll do whatever you want. And yes, with Myrcella.
But she has to convince him because...
Well, of course.
Because the thing was, he says, in where I come from, the boy always gets before the girl.
Yep.
So Tommen has to be king.
Yep.
Because that's how it is. And she's like, but here in Dorne...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And then she pulls at his heartstrings because she tells him this sob story of when she was like 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
And she went to go kiss her dad goodnight, and daddy wasn't in the office. But there was a letter to her oldest brother.
Right, who's
Quentin.
still younger than her.
Quentin.
Yep.
Yeah. Quentin's the second child.
Yes.
And he is being, what's the word?
Groomed. He's fostered at
fostered.
The Ironwoods.
Yep. He's being fostered by Yorwood or something like that.
The Ironwoods.
Okay. And he had read him a letter saying, you have to do this and that so that you can become my heir, basically.
Right. Essentially, what happened was the man that the Red Viper had killed was an Ironwood. So essentially sending Quentin there to be fostered was kind of like the apology from the Martells.
Yes. Yep.
Since he was, the eldest son, so sending the eldest son to be fostered there, that's seen as a great honor, right? Just like when Ned's father sent Ned, his second eldest son, to foster at the Eyrie.
Yes.
It's a great honor to send a lordly son.
But I think the families also do that so that they're not all in the same place and they don't all die together, leaving the family.
In a lot of ways, yes. But also another reason they do it is, again, there was bad relations between
Theon.
them and the Ironwoods.
Yeah.
Because of what the Red Viper had done. So you send a son there.
A hostage.
Not even just a hostage, but in a way, you're building that relation, right? Because the Ironwoods are going to have children who are going to be, their family's future, who we're going to play with and get to know.
Yeah.
They're going to get to know Quentin,
right?
And then that way, when Quentin Martell is in charge and the younger Ironwoods are in charge, they've developed this relationship together, and can therefore get along and bond the families.
And that was
closer.
supposed to be the thing with Theon Greyjoy, but that didn't happen.
Well, Theon was
absolutely a hostage.
I think of it more like Ned and Robert.
Okay.
Who were both sent to Jon Arryn.
Okay.
And had a lifelong, enduring friendship, closer to each other than either one of them were to either of their brothers.
Right.
So that's one of the big reasons that you do it. is not just as a hostage, but to further relations down the road.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So,
but she was very upset that her father, a Dornishman, wanted a son to become his heir and not his oldest child.
right.
So she uses that to pull at his heartstrings, how she's not getting what she deserves. So if he feels that she deserves it, then why wouldn't Myrcella deserve it as well?
Yeah. Why would you deny Myrcella this?
But tell me I can have it.
Right.
Right.
So, yep, absolutely.
If she's your little princess, then you have to care for her the same as, well,
yeah.
not the same as you care for me, but similarly.
So, yeah. So, Dorne seems... Okay, so, Dorne, and if you read the subtext of all of this, Dorne seems like a real fucking scumbag.
Yes.
You think about it, right? So,
He's intelligent.
Oh, extremely.
Yes.
But he wants to bypass his heir in favor of another of his children.
Yep.
That child that he favors, he sends off to basically to be a hostage to their mortal enemies.
Yep. But there's another thing. He has recently sent Quentin on a quest.
Right, which we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
Well, we're not sure, so...
This is what she says.
Rumor is that he's not where he's supposed to be.
Yes.
Supposedly he's still at the Ironwood Castle.
But
or
supposedly
in the
he's not.
In the Bone Way, guarding the Bone
Yes.
Way down into Dorne. Just
Yes.
in case. But she's heard rumor that he's not there, that he was actually sent on a mission by her father instead.
Yes.
And
you think you know what it is. I have absolutely...
I 100% know what the mission is.
I have absolutely no idea. And we'll leave it at that.
I can tell you this.
I think you've mentioned it before, but I'm not going to dig it up right now.
So I will say this. He's sent on a mission for which he is 100% ill-equipped.
Okay.
Which makes me also think that his father doesn't want him around.
Why would you do that to your son if you want him to be the heir?
Well, so I think of this, right? So...
He also doesn't really know who his son is anymore,
right,
so he may think he's equipped, even if he's really not.
No, it has nothing to do with how well he's been trained. It has to do with him physically.
Okay.
He is as ill-equipped as anybody could be for the mission that he is sent on.
Really?
Yeah. No, so... Okay, so here's the mission that he's on.
Okay.
And we'll see how it plays out. But he has been sent by Dorne to Essos to propose marriage and alliance with Daenerys.
Oh.
So Daenerys is quite often called like the most beautiful woman in all of the world.
Right.
Quentin Martell is like a short, ugly, stubby kid.
And is that doesn't know that?
No, he knows that. Who has been sent for some reason to try to marry the most beautiful woman in the world.
That's not going to go well.
Like I said, 100% is he ill-prepared.
He got like
for
the worst
his
kind
mission.
of genes for that family, because all the other people in his family are gorgeous.
Yeah, Arianne's gorgeous. Tristan is gorgeous. The Viper.
Yeah.
The cousins.
Yeah, they're all gorgeous except for him and Dorne.
Yeah.
But Dorne may have looked good at one point, but the gout's kind of really destroyed him.
Yeah.
And so this kid just got all the bad genes?
Yeah, he's like the Danny DeVito in Twins to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That sucks.
Yeah. So that's the mission he was sent on. To marry Daenerys.
I hope Daenerys laughs at him.
Well, I mean, think about who Daenerys is banging.
Yes.
She's
her handmaids.
Well, not just them, but also Dario Naharis.
Right. Or at least not yet.
Well, she has been.
She has been.
Yeah, remember? They were doing it like back at like the campsite.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, they did.
I know she was thinking about it.
No, they did it.
Oh.
But yeah. So, I mean, he stands no chance.
Right.
But that's the mission his father gives him. A mission he can't complete.
Right.
So, yay. And then later on, he'll send Arianne on a mission, which, again, she also is ill-prepared for. Nothing to do with her looks in that case. It's actually the complete opposite reasons why she's ill-prepared for it. So, I get the feeling that he's putting all of his eggs in his third son, Trystane.
Which is
marrying Myrcella, which would then either, if he at some point wants to push her claim to the throne as the queen, or just then bonds him closer with the people in charge.
Right.
So, either way.
So she uses her
Feminine wiles.
Yes, to convince him to help them both get what they rightfully deserve.
Yes. And that's where we end. Is with him saying, I'll do whatever you need. And she says, but first, Myrcella.
I need Myrcella.
Yep. This is not going to go well. Mr. Oakheart.
So he has to kidnap the one he's sworn to protect?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So she is doing the Sand Snake's work.
Yes.
She says she's not allowed to go see them, but
Yes.
somehow she's doing their work.
I mean, it may have been a plan that was put in place before they were locked up.
Yeah. If they knew they were going to be locked up. Right.
So, yeah. So, interesting stuff. And then,
yeah.
once that happens, then we'll meet one of my favorite Dornish characters, Darkstar.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Gerald Dane.
Dane?
Yep, Gerald Dane, Darkstar.
All right.
Yep.
So I have one idea for a title.
All right, what do you got?
Feminine Wiles.
Feminine Wiles? Let's go for it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Did you have an idea?
I was thinking along those lines.
Were
so,
you? Okay.
Feminine Wiles, we're going to go with that. All right. All right, Septa.
Yes.
What chapter is next?
Brienne.
Brienne, we're headed back to
More
Brienne.
walking, guys!
More walking and talking with Pod. Yay!
Yep.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. Maybe it'll be a different chapter than the last two,
Yeah.
which were the same chapter.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it is either, except that she's already met Pod this time.
Right.
So it makes it a little different. Yeah, so we'll be back with Brienne on Tuesday. Let's thank all of our listeners. Let's thank everybody.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Thank you to our patrons. You guys fucking rock.
Yes.
Kick ass. Super awesome people. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/Ironwood. Little's $1 a month. Super helps pay for essentially the server.
Yep.
So that way it doesn't cost us money to do the show,
Yep.
which is great. Let's see. Other way to support the show, if you can't do it monetarily, leave us a rating and review at iTunes or Google Play or wherever you subscribe to the podcast, Stitcher, doesn't matter. Leave us a rating and review there. That also helps people find us.
Yes.
And other than that, for everything else, you can visit our website, IceAndFirePod.com, where you can get how to contact us, where to find our Facebook page, our Twitter handles, how to subscribe to the show, all that good stuff, back episodes, upcoming episodes, the whole 9 yards, all there at IceAndFirePod.com.
Yes.
So until we catch you guys again on Tuesday, goodbye.
Bye.